morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oop, hoop, a doo. How y'all do? First Sky Omaha radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey,
Is this thing on?
check 1 2 1 2.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
With the subliminal messages.
Oh, yeah. Coming in your ear holes.
All right. Tech working good today.
Okay.
No ghosts in the machine.
All systems a go.
Friday.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know what's happening on Friday after next, though.
Hey. Our radio station is rolling.
6:30 crew, what it do?
All right.
Hey.
First Sky Omaha radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us on this Friday, September 1st, 2023.
Man.
It's the first of the month. You know what that means. Time to pay rent.
Ooh. I still got a couple days. I'm going to just chill out. Yeah. Hold on to them dollars just a couple extra days. Feel a little better.
Sad to see him go.
Yeah.
Thanks again for everybody getting up this early. We got people in the chat already. We got YouTube and Facebook working. I can see. Appreciate that very much. Leah Keister comes in hot today again with a happy yo yippee yo yippee yay. Oh, yippee yo. I messed it up.
Almost.
Try
A
to
couple more sips of coffee.
couple more yos, couple more yippies. Let's get it.
Don't forget the yays.
Let me try it. Happy yo yippee yo yay. It's that. See the line breaks.
It's that last. Let me try. All
right, go
happy yo yippee yo yippee yay.
Hey, okay. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Yeah, well, you kind of helped with the beginning, but yeah. Thank you, Leia.
Yes. Always a pleasure to see you on coming on in the morning strong. Pops also getting up early with us. He says, "Good Friday morning and mad love to my First Sky fan." Appreciate you. Pops. Says the sound is superlative.
Okay, it's a good word.
Pops is a wordsmith, you know.
Yeah, man.
Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Good morning to you as well. Thank you for all the tips and the information that you always provide. Appreciate you very much. Amy H. Dot, man.
You the truth.
I saw your email this morning. You coming in like a force. Don't let them slip past us.
Man, came in like a wrecking ball.
She gives us a good morning over here on YouTube as well. Do us a favor, share the show, tell a friend. We appreciate that very much. Get a round of applause from Leia. That's what's up.
Hey, okay.
I wonder how I want to pitch. I'm picturing you sitting there going, okay, let me see how many yos. How can we trip them up today?
And she has a bunch of phrases just kind of listed somewhere. She just copy and paste them.
That's what's up. Anyway, it's Friday. Thanks for joining us. We got some special guests coming in today.
You just kind of gave me a vision of her talking to text. You know, you can do the talk to text. Yo, yippee, yo.
She's using AI. How can I trip up First Sky today with some yippies and some yos and add in some yays? Yeah, that's what's up. I appreciate that. You definitely put some thought into how you going to come, the energy you're going to bring today. So I like that very much. We're getting a message over here from the radio crew says they fired up. That's what's up.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Shout out to Beth. Shout out to everybody listening to the radio channel. Of course, you can always go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the listen button,
Yeah,
and
man.
check out some tunes, man. If you happen to be up earlier than this, I put a special mix together for the 6:30 crew every show. So definitely check that out at 6:30. Again, go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the listen button, or ask your Amazon Alexa to play First Sky Omaha Radio. Appreciate
Good
you.
vibes. Good vibes. Man, we should make that into a playlist. We
Mhm.
kind of got away from our Spotify playlist. We need to get back to that.
I mean, yeah, it's tough to we guess there's so much that we can do all the time. It's like,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
who was really, who's digging the set on the list on the Spotify list. I guess we can try it. We can go for it and put it out there and let people see what's up. I feel like when we get into this music thing more in this next season, when we start to really, really engaging with music again.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, I forgot to tell you about this conversation I had with Whitney Richardson.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need music shows coming up. I'll just put it to you like that. We gonna be
Oh
talking about
yeah. Oh yeah.
music. Yeah, it's a good year to do it. 50th year of hip hop. It's a good year
Man.
to do it. Miss Erica Felson says I'm on Spotify every day. Okay.
Okay. Well, check us out. We got a little playlist.
Okay, yeah, we will update the playlist for you then. Vicky Young says good morning with some sunshine. Appreciate you. Good morning, Miss
Hey.
Young. Also, Miss Erica Felsen gives us a good morning, friends. Good morning to you. Appreciate you getting up. I know that you probably got a bunch of kids around you right now, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, teach them how to say in the morning. And get a little choir going.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you doing today, buddy? How you feeling?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Feeling good. Sticking with my, morning routine.
Okay.
Yeah, waking up, meditating, trying to set my intentions for the day, and be mindful. That's the biggest thing, rather than just kind of going through the motions and zombieing through the morning.
Mm.
Trying to wake up, set intentions, be present, being intentional, be grateful, things like that. Try to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Again, I kind of mentioned it on the show. I'm in a transition in life. Coming into my 30s, losing people close to me in life, and just personal changes and things like that. And yeah, this is a part of it. This is a part of it. Trying to be intentional about my future.
Well, I love it, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah.
I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. I'm trying to get.
No, man. Stop it, stop it.
Hey,
But
Von
yeah,
Chapman gives us a good morning. Good morning, Brother Chapman.
hey,
I see you guys are pretty active in Friends of First Sky Omaha on some things, so appreciate you putting some articles in and making some comments and having some discussion over there. If we're not live, then this discussion really isn't intending to happen over there on Friends of First Sky Omaha, and we're gonna hopefully get in there and start and get back to doing some discussing of things with you guys in there too. So
yeah.
but in the meantime, everybody who's there really appreciate that being there for sure.
Keeping the
Um,
combo going.
yeah, man. Miss Erica Fell says I'm not today. No kids today, huh? She says I'm closed for a 4-day weekend, but I do have a meeting with the title 20 people today. A doctor's appointment, a lunch with my grown son. You got a busy day today, sounds
Okay. Looks like an eventful day. And I was going to mention that. I was wondering, it is Labor Day weekend.
like.
So any plans? Any plans? Anybody getting in anything? Where's the barbecues going to be?
Are you
Let
going
us
out of
know.
town? I'm going out of town. They said the travel's getting ready to get real stupid on this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I've been hearing some crazy prices on these plane tickets though, man.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let us know. Are you planning on traveling?
Speaking of planning on traveling, what's happening in 2 weeks, buddy?
Man, letting them know. We'll be touching down. I will be in town for a couple days. Going to catch a couple shows. Enjoy the scenery of the town, man. Of course, we've been talking about it. Funkadelic,
Yeah,
the
dude.
mothership is landing upon Omaha.
George Clinton will be in town on September 17th.
Yeah, man. So gonna be there for that, and then of course, my man, Dave Chappelle, my main man, my main Damon,
The GOAT.
Dave Chappelle, man, the goat, man, the
Yeah.
goat.
Greatest of all time. September 18th is going to be here in Omaha, man. CHI Health. How many people are flying to Omaha to see a show? So shout out to Buddy for that.
Man, I mean, I had to, and plus, we didn't make it to Napa this year, so I felt like this, it's a consolation. We got
It's a consolation
Napa's coming to us.
if you're in town, we're going to have some kind of Chad Chambers kickback. So stay tuned
Yeah,
for some information on that in the next couple of weeks.
live alive.
And also, man, it looks like you might be able to be in town to teach one of the classes.
Yes. We are working on that. But even if I don't teach, I will be in attendance. So, sign up, come through, chill
Yeah,
out with us, learn something.
we got a couple more signups, 3 or 4 more signups here in this past week. But if you have
Hey,
not already registered, then go to the Friends of First Sky Omaha page. It's pinned at the top, the registration, and we'll also put that in the chat here in a minute as well. But this week we're going to be at Elevator Spaces. Back at Elevator, that was the very first place that we were at. So
hmm
I think from now on it's going to be between Elevator and Culture House, and so we'll let you know each week which place we're going to be at. This week, Elevator Spaces, what's over there. This week 5 that's happening tomorrow morning. So 10 o'clock, meet us over there, 10 to 12. I'm going to be your instructor this week again, and it's going to be a funky good time. So please come on through, and let's talk a little bit about some things, and also tell a friend, bring some
Yeah.
people with you as well
Yes.
that you might think. Like I said, again, we're looking for young folks. We're looking for people of color. We're looking for black people, especially young black kids who can write, who have a propensity to tell stories, or just are on their phones all the time making content creators. We want to try to make people be citizen journalists, but also be trusted citizen journalists. And that's what all these classes are about, man. We got to have more people telling more stories from our neighborhood. So if you have anybody in mind that you think would benefit from this, hit them up. Let them know to come on through. We got several more weeks to go. This is a 12-week course. We're on week 5. So a
Man,
lot more instructions to come. Chris Baby Boy Bowling will be around next week.
baby boy.
Yeah, man, it's going down. So yeah, come on through, and then of course you might be able to catch Buddy on one of these here in the next couple
Hey.
weeks. So yeah, it's going down.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And also, I am excited to see what comes out of this week. Again, kind of teaching like networking and personal branding and things like that. Kind of making a name for yourself, like the Oprahs and the Walter Cronkites and
Mm.
the Larry Kings out there. Like, really, really making a name.
Yeah.
And also feeling comfortable enough. This is the big thing. Feeling comfortable enough to talk to your people. Like
Yeah.
that's the big thing. We want everybody who's a part of that training to really especially as citizen journalists, to feel comfortable and confident enough to ask questions to your elected officials, to go to meetings, to really, kind of stick your nose in the business of the government. When a lot of times we kind of look at it like it's not our business, when in fact it is. It's definitely our business. So again, yeah, learn how to be about town.
Yeah, man. So come on through. We would love to see you there. Like I said, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend for sure. Kimber Snipes in the chat. She says, "Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you.
Hey,
Appreciate that very much." Also, Wanda Lewis in the chat is reminding us about something very important.
man.
COVID is on the rise. I know several people who have been dealing with the issues within the past couple of weeks, to include a pastor. Move around with that in mind. I'm glad that you said that. I actually went to the doctor myself this week, and the doctor confirmed to me COVID is back. COVID's on the rise. They have a new variant happening right now, and a new vaccine to battle that variant that's about to drop in about 3 weeks.
Yep,
They said that since the governor took away the reporting on this stuff, you're not going to hear about this in the news. You're not going to hear it. So everybody's taking home tests and realizing that they got COVID again, and going to the doctor, and the doctor is able to tell them what strain and so on and so forth. So grassroots, it's on the rise. This is the news from the streets. Word on the street is it's on the rise, and we're not going to get any official from any official entities because of the fact that they have ceased reporting on this issue.
it's
So
crazy.
we got to tell each other it's on the rise. You start seeing people with masks out again. This is what's going on. So check yourselves, and just remember what we got to do to stay away from that. Enclosed spaces, wash the hands, do all the things that you got to do in order to keep yourself safe from it. But yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
We got a couple special guests coming on into the show too, so stay tuned for that. Calvin Williams is going to come and talk about the Level Up event that's happening tomorrow. So we'll get you some information on those things. It's pretty interesting thing he got going on. He's going to bring some friends with him as well that are part of what's happening with this. But this Level Up Job and Housing Fair
Mm.
is happening. This is Calvin Williams from Freedom Tainment, and he's going to be talking about this event that's going on in the daytime tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Jean Leahy Mall. So he's making some big moves and doing some stuff. He's not just out here bringing concerts and entertainment, but also community engagement.
Yes,
and
yes.
and things like that. So shout out to Calvin Williams, who's going to be on a little later on the show. And then we got the dynamic duo coming on in this today too. Now normally they come in on Mondays, but Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne agreed to come on today to talk about that Tuesday meeting. Have a
Man,
little bit more discussion on those things and get some insights from those brothers as well. So appreciate them. They hit us up this time like, hey, we coming on tomorrow? Yeah, man, come on through. So appreciate them coming. And then lots more to come, man. We got some heavy articles that we got to talk about today too. That the Flatwater Free Press dropped. Ooh-wee.
yeah,
They dropping bombs on us.
man.
Let's go ahead and get into this show, man. And again, thank you for joining us. Another fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Let's get
Yeah,
it.
let's go.
What up? What up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Once again, First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
The Diaz is happening. Paul
Yeah,
B. the Dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd,
yeah, man.
chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, all of you who are joining us now and later. If you miss any parts of this show, you can go back and watch them in its entirety
Hey,
on Facebook and YouTube. Check the chats when you do. And good morning. It is the first of the month, September 1st, on a Friday. It's going down.
yeah.
Let us know what you got going on this weekend. We will have an extensive haps a little later on the day too. Appreciate that. I'm glad that you guys are talking about COVID. Miss Erica Feld is saying COVID has popped up in three child cares that I know of in the last 2 weeks.
Mm.
So COVID is on the rise for real, for real. Pop says Las Vegas is at the level of high vulnerability for COVID. I always tell people not to come to Vegas, but if they do, to always use their masks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, a lot of people in Vegas. That when it hits somewhere, it hits places like Vegas first in a
Man.
big way. Amy H. says, glad you mentioned COVID being on the rise. I don't talk openly about it too much, but my parents have health issues. I've been to the ER 4 times in the last week, not COVID, but there were cases there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to think about our elderly, or our loved ones who got the comorbidities.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you got to be careful, and that's where it's being treated too, especially if you got to be in the hospital. So that's why you're seeing a lot of people. I went to the doctor this week. Everybody had a mask on in the doctor's office. I went to the sleep doctor yesterday. They even had a mask on. They're not really even dealing with people up close like that. So yeah, you see what's going on, man. You start asking why the mask again? Oh, there's an uptick. So the doctors and nurses are telling you that, then that's the first line of information right there for me.
Yeah, and of course, as you know, it's mutating, so we're hearing that is more aggressive, more deadly. So yeah, definitely be cautious.
Be cautious. Miss Hickerfeld cracking me up. She says, I opened my mouth and told Boogie I'd take him to the Chappelle, but at over $700 for 2 tickets, we're gonna have to watch the old TV show.
Watch some Netflix specials,
Chappelle show.
man.
So that's hilarious. Yeah. Thanks for again. Like I said, man, I love when everybody gets up. The people that get up for the good mornings in the morning I love it. That's where the family bonding is happening right now. So
Yeah.
appreciate you guys very much. And then when we finally get the show started, 15 minutes in, then I start seeing a little uptick of people that are coming on in, and because we're here to discuss some things and have some conversations. So that's the way we do that, and we
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
you doing it the way you do it.
Yeah. However you wake up, definitely glad that you're waking up with us. So definitely welcome, and be ready to join the conversation as always. As Paul mentioned, the fam already in the chat, so be ready to let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. As Paul mentioned, also we do have a lot to talk about.
Man,
So let's go ahead and introduce the topics, man. There's a couple of cases of possible conflict of interest going out in several areas. Of course, seems like Flatwater is not letting up on illin pillin, or we got a new word, porky p. Again, there.
Porky Pillin in the house.
Man, Porky Pillin. If you don't know, Pillin and his family, the Pillin family, pork, uh, are the actually leading meat packers, one of the leading meat packers in the state, and of course the country actually, as one actually the leading hog farmer, Pillin Family Farms in the state, and as governor, there's some conflicts of interest. It seems like Flatwater is calling out Pillin and his connection to the pork empire that they're calling it, saying Nebraska's governor stands at intersection of state and ag power. Again, what decisions are the governor or is the governor going to make in regards to agriculture, and how will that impact the pork industry and of course his bottom line? So definitely we'll be talking about that. Of course, this is on the heels of Flatwater's report on um, the governor using qualified immunity. I don't think that was the executive immunity. That was the term that he used, and maybe this is what they were looking for, and maybe what he was trying to protect. So yeah, we'll definitely look into this story.
Oh, I thought you was in it already. Okay.
No, 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 no. But also looking at getting some more information from the OPS situation. It looks like there's some conflict of interest, possibly with the board president, Spencer Head, who we are now finding out, also from Flatwater Free Press, that he's being paid from a pro private school campaign. Again, in the center of this whole school debate, this school choice debate that we've been having here on the show, finding out that Spencer Head is apparently running a firm that's helping with the situation. So we'll definitely talk about that. Also, still looking at a couple things. Of course, still having more questions piling up in regards to this DED meeting that took place on Tuesday. Definitely looking forward to speaking to the senators about that, getting some more insight on what's going on with that situation. But yeah, it's getting sticky. And on top of that, we're finding out that some money from the ARPA funds have already gone out. It looks like Norfolk has claimed a check that was actually originally set aside for North Omaha. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro. So look, we gonna come back to it, but did y'all hear that? We've been talking about this. If things don't go the way they need to go with these ARPA funds, they will go to somebody else's pet project. $2 million is already that was earmarked for North Omaha is already gone to Norfolk.
For a park.
We'll talk about it.
All that and more. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, like COVID, as people have already mentioned, definitely feel free to drop that into the chat and we'll try to get into it. Again, we can't have our eyes everywhere. That's why we call you our co-host. So yeah, let's join the conversation, man. Big shout out to everybody tuned in already.
Yep. Just some more updates, man. It looks like we're gonna be talking about COVID throughout this show as well, too. Pop says COVID has slowed but never stopped. He said they have just not been reporting the numbers in the same way.
There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
that's our problem here. Our problem here is that they have not they've ceased all reporting on this because they want everything to go back to normal. So
Quote
that's
unquote.
what's happened. Marianne Williams says good morning. She's good morning to you. She says I think several countless counties are still doing testing for COVID in wastewater. If we can find that info, and then say Porky P, yeah, Porky. As a matter of fact, yeah, we should be able to talk to somebody over at what is the department? The Department of
Health.
Health and Human Services. Yeah, we had a contact over there that used to come on mine, and so we'll get a hold of him. I believe that he might have some numbers and stuff like that too. So
Hopefully.
we'll look into it. Wanda Lewis said, "Let's go." I hear that. Tony Johnson said, "Folks been warning us for years." Vaughn spoke several times. On which thing you guys talking about? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, which thing? Which thing did Brother Knight said told you? On which thing? What are you guys talking about?
What did we miss? What did we miss? Before
Marlon.
the chat. Yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead. I was just looking at Marlon Harrison's comment.
Yeah,
Definitely got to talk about that.
yeah. He said I heard from multiple people that we might go back on lockdown October, November at least. Thoughts? First of all, where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that? Get that information from? We'd love to know about it. But man, that would be interesting to be thinking about. What would happen if we went back on lockdown? Tony Johnson said on the North Omaha money going, yeah. We've been saying it. We've been saying
Yeah.
that money doesn't if it doesn't come North Omaha like it's supposed to, it will absolutely go elsewhere. Funds to Norfolk. Yep, that's right. We've been telling them, fellas. So and now it's happening, and it's in the I think Omaha World Herald covered. No, I can't remember where the article
That
came
was
from.
that was Norfolk
Oh,
Times.
right. Yep. So we'll see. That's the other interesting thing too. Nobody's reporting this for North Omaha. That was in the Norfolk Times.
Or Norfolk Daily News. That's what it
Right.
is. The
Saying
Norfolk
that
Daily
saying
News.
what happened there in Norfolk, where that money came from and everything. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like keep it how you gonna keep an eye on stuff like that? Well, here we are. So shout out to I believe it was Tony. Who which? Let me look and see. Somebody put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha. That's how I got hip to it, and I was just like, man, I'm glad somebody's paying attention and looking over here.
Man.
We would have never known. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the chat chimers and everybody that's putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Really appreciate it. Otherwise, like I said, we wouldn't really be knowing what's going on. But it is what it is. We'll figure it out and get back to it. In the meantime, between time, buddy, you want to jump in? Which one do you want to jump into first? I mean, this is all heavy news today.
Yeah, it's kind of everywhere. I mean, I feel like I want to jump into the Johnson Park, but I do want to save that for when the senators come on.
That's
The
Tony
possible.
Johnson. Tony Johnson put that in there from what
Okay, okay. Well, thank you, brother Johnson, for that. Let's start off here. These are a couple stories that we did not get into last episode. Some honorable mention stories, if you will. But definitely worth talking about. Of course, gun laws are changing in the area. Yeah, we didn't get into
Well,
this, but
well,
definitely.
I was hoping that we would be able to ask the senators about some of that stuff. That's why I wanted to leave the gun stuff, the gun articles in there, because it'll be a good opportunity to talk to the senators about their which way they voted and why and so on too. But yeah, you want to go ahead and kick it
You
off?
well, we can at least set it up, and definitely want to hear from them. Of course, we talked to them about it. They voted in favor of this legislation, but definitely would like to see what that means for their relationship with the city, because this is the big change. The city is now, again, the city of Omaha is now looking to respond to the state changing its laws, which means that the city will have to fall in line.
Mm,
But exactly what does that look like, and how happy will the council members and the mayor's office be with these changes, especially with the decision that they did not make themselves. Again, this was a
mm,
decision from our state senators. This was a decision from the legislature that has been handed down to the city. And now city officials are responding by making swift moves. Actually, a lot of changes have happened this week. Earlier this week, Omaha City Council members voted to repeal several city codes to again fall in line with state law. I believe it was over a dozen state codes that were actually changed. Actually, closer to 2 dozen. 22 city codes were changed as a result of this. And City Council President Pete Festerson says that he feels repealing 22 city codes is hardly cause for celebration. Festerson says, definitely, it's my opinion that the city should not be getting repealed or having to do this, unfortunately. And that's why we opposed LB 77. Again, LB 77, which is going into effect this week, allows concealed carry without a permit. We're discouraged. We have to be doing this today, but we must repeal the sections of code pertaining to firearms based on state legislation that passed, according to Festerson. Again, among the 22 codes repealed, getting rid of Omaha's gun registration ordinance, which allows police to track stolen guns, is definitely a big cause for concern. Actually, Matt Cuse, who's the Omaha city attorney, says, I'm sure what we'll be going through the officer's mind is, I'm letting this person go who has a gun there. I certainly hope that they're not going to go commit some sort of violent crime with it. Again, definitely changing interactions on police stops. And kind of, Paul, you mentioned this is something I didn't think about, but you mentioned that there's some discussion and real concern this could be leading to a stop and frisk type situation.
As a matter of fact, Jonathan Lathan, I don't know if you remember him from back in the day. We had him on several times. He was running for a seat. Brother Lathan, who is a gun advocate, gave me a call and was very concerned about what is going on here. And he used that phrase. He's like, this is going to return to a situation where there's going to be some stop and frisk type of things happening, because if the police are rolling around thinking everybody is able to have a gun, permit or no permit, then they're going to be getting back to a little bit of profiling, seeing if they can kind of predict the future, who got one, who don't. They're going to be a little bit more scary when they pull people over and be
Mhm.
and try to find, because anybody could have one now. So That it's definitely going to be a thing where they're always going to check. It's never going to be a time they're not going to check to see if somebody has one on them if they pull them over. So yeah, they're concerned about that, and it reminded me about listening to some of the testimony of Police Chief Schmatter and
Hmm.
some other folks that were saying they didn't want this to happen. They didn't want that. They didn't want more guns on the streets unregulated this way. It was a conflict from the beginning with them because that means more guns on the street, more chances to interact with people with guns. They were against this bill. They were against all these things. So just reminded me about that, and and what's going to happen. What are they going to do? It'd be interesting to maybe have the chief on and have somebody on to be like, what things are you gonna have to do differently now
Yeah,
out here now that this has happened?
especially in your training and things like that. One thing for sure though is the mayor is already planning to do something on the heels of city council's decision. It has been reported that the mayor is planning on issuing a executive order that should be actually going into effect this weekend. The executive order will address exactly where guns will be available. Of course, they can't stop people from exercising their Second Amendment, but they can stop people from bringing guns into places like courthouses. Also, the city council county building downtown where city council meets, which is considered a courthouse. Also, things such as schools, police stations, and financial institutions will still be gun free in regards to this executive order, which again is set to take place over the weekend. So we've seen the mayor's office take swift action, and we are expecting the city council to still do something, not just repeal these laws, but we are expecting some more ordinances and changes in gun code in the city. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on the situation. But yeah, we'll definitely like to talk to the senators about just city relations. I kind of mentioned my theory that I had a theory forming last episode in regards to these funds, and we'll talk about them here in a second in regards to Johnson Park and Norfolk and the money that they received. But I'm kind of curious as to again, Senator Wayne and Senator McKinney. They did vote in favor of this bill, and I wonder how that impacted city relations. Again, will the city be ready to be on board with plans that the senators have? Based on their relationship. We all know how politics impact legislation and, and these types of things. So that is a thought that I'm having. I'm just kind of throwing out there. I
Yeah,
wonder what the relationship between the senators and the city is right now.
right. Amy H. Dot in the chat says, so irresponsible of the legislature to do this. Wanda Lewis says they can also shoot if they feel threatened. It's a police decision. Mr. Tony, Brother Knight says, I think with this law, you have to tell the cop that you have a gun before they ask. That's how they're gonna catch up. That's how they're gonna catch up black men. Yep, that's one way they're gonna catch them up for sure.
Hmm.
Think of Orlando Castile.
Now,
Wanda Lewis says, "Will there be gun zoning laws?" And yeah, we were kind of answering some of those. It sounds like in certain places you won't be able to have them.
yep.
Schools and now buildings that Jean Stothard is going to be in when she's in town. Tony Johnson
When
says,
she's in town.
love to hear from Councilwoman Johnson on this. Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Bo Youngblood, what's going on, bro? He said everything good, everything to my folks out there. Appreciate you, bro.
Peace, peace.
Kimmer Snipe says, well, Spencer, but people knew about Spencer's firm. We'll come back to that in a minute. But yes, on this particular issue here, remember, we did ask the senators about this before, about their vote before,
Hmm.
we do have to remember this. There are a bunch of laws out there that let some of these groups, some of these militia groups around us, carry
Now,
guns. And the theory behind it is you're not gonna stop people in North Omaha from having one if everybody else around us can have one. And that's part of this. That's part of the situation here. Part of the reason why. But we can reiterate that again when the senators come on. We can ask them again to reiterate what it is that why they voted the way they voted, because they're not just willy nilly. These brothers. They're not trying to put nobody else in prison. You don't fight for prison reform and then vote for things that's going to put people back in prison. So
hmm
there's a reason why they voted this way, and we'll ask them again to get reminded on the reason why when they come on. But it's still to your point, buddy, still something to really kind of look at in an overall way. There's there sometimes that relationship between the legislature and the city is a it's a little tough in the first place.
hmm
Lots that's going on though. Seems like there might not be a whole lot of communication there, I'm kind of anxious to find out about what's going on for that. So um, let's move on. You guys are still in the chat going off. Miss Amy H. Dot says that as folks who have been involved in situations of gun violence, how they feel about the votes they made. What deals were made there?
Hmm.
Interesting question. Wanda Lewis says no guns for North Omaha. Yeah, that's kind of problem too. How is this? How are the police going to respond to that? Like how,
Right.
like your brother was saying a little earlier, how it's going to catch black people up? I want to know about that. The sign is legal and can be upheld. Miss Erica Phelps says. Wanda Lewis says, don't be surprised. Marianne Williams says Senator McKinney's bill prohibiting suspensions for PK through second grade will go in effect tomorrow too. Thanks,
Okay.
thanks for the information. We'll talk a little bit more about that from when he comes in. As a matter of fact, let me put that down as a note to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Amy H. Dot says, "How is that the solution? It's easier to peel things back than to put these regulations in place. We lose what little ground we have." Yeah. Again, I don't want to speak for the brothers, so we'll definitely
Yeah.
ask them when
Have
they
to
come
ask him.
on. But just in me trying to reason the situation out, there seems to be there's only gun regulations and gun laws put in place when black folks is walking around with them. Thinking about the Black Panther Party days,
Man,
when they walked into the Capitol with their rifles
and laws would
like
change.
everybody else could, right? Then the laws start changing. So, and the laws always changed in favor of everybody else being able to have them, but but people of color not. So,
Yeah.
not sure. Brother Knight says they voted that way because the city was using those ordinances to lock up black men.
Right. That's what I was going to mention. I remember the senators saying, their intention for this was to throw a hurdle, like to decline or decrease the number of people being arrested behind gun charges and things like that, and just the tool that guns were being used as by the police to prey, I guess you could say, on young black men. But it sounded like we're feeling like that actually might be the opposite effect. Like it might have a backfire as far as their support of this bill. So it is very interesting, and definitely would love to um hear more from the senators.
T,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to kick it to the Johnson Park. So
Yeah, before we do that though, T. Ren in the chat is saying the senators voted for it under the premise that black people would be less subject to illegal possession.
right.
And then Miss Wanda Lewis says, "Remember what happened with the BAA last year?" So that we know that the BAA has have a security company that is armed. You see Brother Kasim out there with his high powered rifle when he's protecting some things, and when the parade happened, or what was the I think it was there was a parade or something where the police pretty much hemmed him up. But
Mm.
yeah, they will I can't remember exactly what happened, but they stopped them because they were holding those guns and wouldn't let them proceed with the rest of the event that was happening. Maybe Wanda Lewis, maybe you can remind us about what happened there on that
I do think it was a
exactly. But I
parade.
do remember them getting hemmed up on it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, let's see. Kimber Snipes says sometimes when I'm at 360, the officers mention how an arrest they did make likely would not happen under the new law pertaining to firearms.
Yeah. And she says more than sometimes, actually.
Interesting. Also, let's see. Marion Williams says during the hearing, Wayne asked a police chief if the bill would decrease black gun arrests, and the answer was yes in the hearing publicly. I remember that
Yep.
watching that one. Yep.
Yep.
Miss Mayor Sanchez in the chat. Good morning. He says, "I don't own a gun. Could care less if everyone carries, registered or not." Yeah. Appreciate your opinion on that. Wanda Lewis says Juneteenth parade. That's right,
Yep.
Juneteenth
Yep.
parade. Yeah, they wouldn't let him proceed with the parade. They hemmed him up because they had guns with them. So, yeah, this kind of stuff has been, like I said, been happening since I learned about the Black Panther Party days when laws changed after those brothers did what they did with their guns. So
Mm.
everybody can have a gun except the when you try when you want to have an equal thing going on, then it's a problem with some people. So yeah, like I said, we'll talk to the senators more about that. So I appreciate everybody's comment on this particular thing. We'll come back. One last comment. Marianne Williams says, "I hate the bill, but I understand the position the Wayne and McKinney are taking in their overall goal to decrease prison population."
There you go.
Okay.
There you
Yep.
go.
So I appreciate that very much. It sounds like to me, Miss Erica felt that you can say that no guns on the premises. She says I have issues with bringing guns into schools, child care, library. I don't think they're going to be in schools.
Yeah.
Right. So and probably child care places too. And I'm thinking any private business can say you can't come in
No.
here with a gun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's more so streets. I mean, that you should be worried about as far as that point. Again, I do think that this executive order from the mayor is going to go in within the week, very soon. So yeah, that definitely pertains to exactly where you'll be able to take your firearm. But I definitely expect this to be a mess before it kind of evens out.
Yeah, we will definitely see.
Yeah.
7:40 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, the senators just hit me up. They will be on at 7:45. Before they come on, let's shift gears real quick off of this subject and talk a little bit about this money situation because I'm a little heated.
Yeah.
I'm a little heated.
Yeah.
We've been
And
we've been saying it. If we don't rack right with this money, it'll go somewhere else.
And again, I'm looking at the city. Like, what role is the city playing in this? Because apparently, the city had a big role, as far as the city of Norfolk had a big role in, again, this park getting this $2 million grant. And I'm kind of feeling like some of the politics, some of the policies, especially this gun change, and the city council being very unhappy about this. How will this impact relationships to get this money into the community? As we see with this article out of Norfolk Daily News, Johnson Park project receives $2 million grant from state is the headline. City officials announced earlier this week that Norfolk had been selected to receive a grant for up to $2 million to be allocated towards the completion of the Johnson Park restoration project. Of course, we've been following the money for now 2 seasons. So the question is, where did the money come from? According to Nate Powell, who's the city director of Parks and Recreation, he says that this is an agreement with the Nebraska Department of Natural Resources as a part of the State of Nebraska Rescue Plan Act of 2021. He says this grant did not require an application, which is, again, they didn't even have to apply for these funds,
Mm,
and there are no matching funds required, which are some of the stipulations tied to the LB 1024 funds that we've been talking about.
mm.
Now, again, you're not always going to get all the money, and whether or not you'll be able to match the funds or get the rest of the money for your project does bear on whether or not the DED will, again, qualify your project or accept it. So it's very, very interesting how loose the stipulations were with this $2 million grant. And even more interesting is later on in the article, it states that these funds were directly aside or set aside for North Omaha. It says, let's see, where is this at exactly in this article? I apologize, 1 second. Yes, it says Dover said the grant funds awarded to Norfolk had originally been allocated for North Omaha, which was unable to utilize them, which was definitely the sticking point in this article. Again, this article says that North Omaha apparently had the opportunity to claim these $2 million that could have gone to a park or some other natural resource project, and were unable to utilize them. I don't know who decided that we could not use them. I don't who was aware that these funds were even available. A lot of questions coming from this, but again, as you see, funds are already going out.
So, from what I understand, these are not. This is a different. Um, this is from an earlier fund. 2021 was the year.
The Nebraska Rescue Plan Act of 2021.
Okay, so I'm wondering if that's not the same Nebraska Care Plan Act from that the 1024 money is coming from, right?
You thinking too hard, bro. Regardless of whatever, this money was set aside for North Omaha. It did not come to North Omaha. Who decided that North Omaha could not use it?
Trust me, I got that point. But what I'm saying is that what we're talking about is a fund that we're talking about evidence that this has happened already. And that's that. My point is that this is from an earlier fund. There was money that was coming into North Omaha even before this whole 1024 situation has happened. Every year they are trying to they're trying to bring money into North Omaha, and they end up doing that. And then in some years, sometimes it looks like there's whatever process is in place here that makes it so that we don't get it. Matter of fact, who just said this in the chat? Um, they say hoops for us. Where did
That's
who
T
said that?
Ren. Hoops for us, free reign for them.
Right. So they didn't even have to apply. So again,
Or match.
we have all these stipulations that make it tough for us to get the money each year, not just what's going on with this year.
Mm-hmm.
Not just what's happening with the city this year and the communication between legislation and the city this year and this 1024 money. Each year there's money coming in North Omaha, and this kind of stuff happens all the time. It's not just us saying this may happen. This has been it's proven every year. You can ask Brother Wayne about this. Every year that he's been in the legislature, he's seen money go out from that's supposed to go to North Omaha to go out somewhere else. This is a thing that happens all the time. Marianne Williams in the chat says, I'm not convinced that money in Norfolk is the LB 1074 money. Also, why did Omaha decline it or decide it couldn't be used? I mean, this is what I'm saying. I'm feeling like, and especially before this 1024 bill happened, what senators were even around talking to North Omaha about the money that's in there, that if they weren't like with already hooked up with them, like the Empowerment Network and other organizations. We don't even be knowing how many times money is earmarked for North Omaha, and then sometimes when we do know, we go for it, and there's a bunch of hoops, stuff
Red
going
tape.
on, and it ends up going somewhere else.
But to answer your question, first of all, yes, you are right. There's always money coming into North Omaha, and the people of North Omaha barely ever get a say into who gets it, where it goes, how it's spent. It just comes in North Omaha, usually lines the pocket of some developer, and then it leaves. Like it honestly never really comes into North Omaha. Just kind of goes through North Omaha. But to answer your question, these funds from this actual article, this $2 million did come from ARPA funds. These are ARPA funds. That's what ARPA stands for, American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, which means that these are federal funds that went to the state to the tune of $1.4 billion.
Okay.
So $1.4 billion came to the state. LB 1024 allotted just a portion, the 400 or so million dollars of that billion, to North South Omaha and the qualified census tracts. So it's the same pot of money, but there's a bunch of different programs from this pot of money that we could be applying for.
And so from this particular pot of money, some has already left and gone somewhere else that was earmarked for North Omaha.
Yes, this is from the Nebraska Department of Natural Resources. So my understanding is this, again, would have gone to a park project or some sort of natural development project, like a park or actually let's break it down. Where's Norfolk going to be spending this money? Ice skating rink, a splash pad, pedestrian bridge, signs, landscaping, a playground, gatehouse improvements, and a concession stand and a sport court.
Sounds nice. Maybe we should move out to Norfolk.
I mean, that's,
Wanda Lewis is asking a question. She says, "Are you saying that the matching funds are required for those who applied?" You mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So to clarify that statement, what I'm saying is people who applied aren't getting the full amount for their project. So if your full project is 20 million, most people are applying for 10 or 5, which means you have to prove that you'll be able, like if we give you the 5 million, how can you finish the project? Where are you going to get the other 15 million? So it's not necessarily a match, but you have to prove that you can raise other funds. Like you're not just going to get most projects aren't just going to get the full project paid for with this. If you look at the application, if you look at the coordination plan sent out by Olson, most of those projects don't get the full amount. So the question is, how viable is your project? If we give you this money, how can you get the rest of the money?
Good question. Amy H. Dot says there's so many separate buckets of ARPA funds for sure.
Yep.
I want to continue on into the chat, but before we do that, we have a special guest waiting in the wings. Let's go ahead and bring him in right now, ladies and gentlemen. Senator Justin Wayne is in the house. Good morning to you.
Peace.
What's going on?
Appreciate you coming in on the off day, man. As you can see, everybody got a whole lot of questions about some things.
Man, I was listening to y'all the other day, and my workout got better. Y'all got my blood pressure up. I was sitting there working out. I was like, I'm gonna do 2 sets of I'm gonna do 4 sets of this now. They don't got me pissed off.
Man.
But anyway.
I hear that. We're on the subject right now of these. Here's Brother McKinney coming in too. Let's go ahead and bring him in as well. Good morning, Brother McKinney.
Good morning.
Peace, peace, peace.
Appreciate you coming in on the off day, man, and helping us answer some of these questions we got out here and talk a little bit on some things. First of all, how y'all doing this morning? Your blood pressure up right now still?
No, I'm good, man. I mean,
Man,
I ain't, I ain't,
last night sucked.
I ain't happy about the game, but
That's what man,
great.
bro.
Man, it's a good way to put it.
We
It's a
didn't
good
talk
way to
about
put
we
it.
didn't talk about that, man. Nebraska lost.
Man,
Huskers
look,
lost
it
last night.
comes. The game was like the meeting. It was a lot of missed opportunities for success.
Ooh.
Man. I just hope we don't turn the ball over and throw a pick at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. I forgot to fail to mention that everybody's a little not feeling too great today.
It's more of the same. What'd you expect? What'd you expect?
I like what
Blurry.
the Sanchez is saying. Yeah, man. You might have to you'll hit.
See, and I'm connected, boy. I'm telling you, I can't wait till other things get here. Me and Cox got problems.
I think that's your lens this time, bro. I think
Might have
Cox
to
was all right.
wipe it down a little bit.
Yeah, you might have to wipe. I think your internet.
There you go.
was
There you
fine.
go.
It was just your camera. Yep.
Yeah, you looking good.
Mayor Sanchez said 4 Kings. That's a royal flush. I like that. I like that. It's
Hey.
royal flush meetings right here. It's going down. So yeah, appreciate you coming on in, man. Right before you guys came in, we were talking a little bit about that money that went to Norfolk. Shout out to Tony Johnson to put that in the chat about from the Norfolk Daily News or whatever the name of that paper is. But some money went to a park out there that was earmarked for North Omaha. Came from one of those 1024 buckets, is what we're understanding. Is that what's happening?
So we did a little research after we saw the article ourselves, and it appears to come at 1024. Not sure how or so we last year. So what we did is swap out the federal dollars with state dollars. We moved dollars over to Department of Natural Resources for Lincoln. Now, Lincoln said they needed this much money, so either that money came from the Lincoln pot, or some projects weren't funded from previous, and if they weren't funded, we put in the law that they were supposed to go to North Omaha. So we were on the phone with appropriations and there's people we know on appropriations, and nobody seemed to have a real clear answer. And so we are where we are.
Okay, so that's interesting to understand too. That you guys don't. Sometimes you guys are not really knowing sometimes who's in charge or where that stuff goes, and why do they not have to come back and talk to the legislature about it?
Well, because in appropriations, you could do things without people knowing. Two, when you send money to an agency, it's pretty much up to the governor and that agency's discretion to do what they want.
Wow.
So in the article, it says that North Omaha was unable to utilize the funds. Like, so what agency? Who made that decision? Is it City's Park and Rec or?
I would say no. It's not the city. City of Omaha had nothing to do with it. I would say whoever made that decision made the determination that North Omaha couldn't use it without ever talking to us. Because I could sit here and name off a bunch of projects that could use $2 million. We could go to Kuntz Park, Adams Park, Nail Park, wherever to use that money. So that's what's sad about it, is that if they were going to move that money for a park in Norfolk and they're saying it's our money, why didn't y'all ever come talk to us?
That's a good question. That leads us to a little bit of other kind of questioning going on. Buddy was talking about it too, about the communication with the city. Yeah, I'm kind of picking up on a little bit of. There's a little bit of West Coast East Coast rivalry going on, or something going on. It feels like with the city, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of communication there, or maybe I was understanding that the relationship was different than it is. You guys got beef with the city?
No. The city actually, we were actually meeting with the city yesterday. The city and us, we have more communications with the city than anybody. The issue is right now during session, just to be blunt about it, we had a lot of conversations with the governor and the governor's office. After the session was over with, we've hardly had any conversation. And that's kind of, I mean, that's been really the issue right now. So I think folks need to understand that, if what happened in Norfolk really happened, which we trying to dig in and find out, there is going to be a full ARPA audit that's supposed to be coming out because we've asked that, and when Senator DeBoer and Senator Kavanaugh have asked for that too, because the law does say anything that's not used and allocated by this year has to go to the North Omaha and South Omaha recovery. So this is one of those areas that if they moved it, it's a technical. It's not really a violation, because we said by 2024 everything has to be moved, so it's before 2024, and that's why writing these laws are so complicated, because you got to think about people not following your spirit and what you're trying to do at all angles. And we're seeing that play out kind of right now with DED, and some of the things that I feel might be going on may not be in the interest of the spirit or the law itself, what we're trying to do. And so we've been trying to play this nice game of working with them and trying to figure it out. But we all went to the meeting at the same time. And what people don't understand is we catching hell from every side. And I'm going to say this, this is like the biggest thing I ever done. Senator McKinney got 4 more years left. We're going to find him something bigger than this. I'm done in a year. So imagine everything you put blood, sweat, and tears in, all the community meetings, y'all been at them where we've been getting beat up and everything else. And we come and we put a bill together to get the most amount of money ever coming to East Omaha. And then you got no control over it. And you just sit there and you literally watching it. But your community demands, y'all did it. It's all on y'all. And it's all I can do is call the DED and call the governor's office. Separation of power. If people remember the first draft that we put out, it had us, the legislature, giving out money directly to the people. And the attorney general and everybody came in and said that's unconstitutional. They showed me the case law. It is unconstitutional. We are the legislative branch. The governor enforces the laws and also distributes the money. That ain't me. That's how it's set up. That's how the whole world. The whole government. Government set up here. So we have to go through there. And at the time we were working with Mr. Goins, things were going pretty well. They got a new person. He's trying to figure it out. But I'm sitting here watching. It's like watching your kid grow up and you got nothing you can do about it.
People are in the chat wondering about is this particular situation. If it comes down to it, and there was something that can be done, could they get the money back? What do we do for that? Even Amy H. is in the chat right now saying, "Well, let's get the money back." Who is it that we talk to? And be careful what you say, because Amy H. will call them up this afternoon and find out if we.
She'll call them.
But is there a scenario where when you guys investigate and find out what you find out, and it may be a situation where that money should go back to North Omaha, that might be able to happen?
I doubt it.
Yeah. Just because they're technically following the letter of the law, from what it sounds like.
It could be, and they may have discretion. Again, it could have been a project that was in western Nebraska that didn't meet ARPA requirements, and they decided to move it. And the senator could have misspoke and said it was from North Omaha, or it couldn't have. We've been on Texas, and we've been talking to folks since the article came out. But it's this kind of scrutiny we all got to have. But at the same time, we getting scrutinized in ways that nobody else is. And that was our last conversation with DED is North and South Omaha Recovery Program has a different lens on it than every other program in the state. And somebody's got to tell me why. And we all know why, but I wanted them to tell me why. And they're like, no, we're treating them all the same. And then I pointed out examples of in Lincoln, they got $30 million and their projects went out, and the same level of scrutiny is not there. And I have contractors and developers who are telling us, nah, the scrutiny ain't even close to the same of what's going on in North and South Omaha. But I'm going to tell you that scrutiny in part comes from us. We calling the governor's office. We setting up meetings with DED. I think Jay Overton asked the question, how many people have you met with who are in this room after this bill has been passed before the grant applications came out? And they said, oh, we'll email you the answer later, right?
What?
Because we are also creating a divide. When y'all go in and when the community goes in or a business goes in and says, we don't like this, we don't like that, they see that as an opportunity that they can do something different. And they looking in your face saying, oh, we can help you out, but they ain't looking for you. They looking for their friends.
Wow.
And even with this article about Norfolk, people was ready and cocked and loaded to jump down our throats as if we moved this money to Norfolk,
Right.
and we
Right,
had
right.
nothing to do with it at all.
Like, I mean, what you're telling us, you found out about the same time. You guys are just looking into it now,
Right.
and
I,
that's
I'm a B100. Precious McKesson is the one who texted me and Terrell. That's how we found out.
man,
She said, "What's this?" I was like, I don't know.
man.
Man, I mean, speaking of that, did anything come out of? Because we know y'all had a meeting on Monday with the DED, and we know that y'all that didn't produce an invitation to the Tuesday meeting. So, what did come out of that? Like, what can you say about your relationship with the DED, or is it pretty much the same that we're getting? We'll send you an email.
I mean, at that meeting, they kind of told us about the 8 categories, and then they kind of was like told what they were gonna do, and I was like, "So you're just gonna do a PowerPoint?" And it's like they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Y'all not gonna hand out nothing?" No. I'm like, "Do you know how bad that is? Do you want a riot to happen?" They did hand out something, but to me, it still wasn't efficient. Because my personal belief is that they were gonna have that meeting, the community should have known after they walked out the whole process and when they could apply. And that didn't happen.
That's
And
what they handed out, Paul.
This is it.
A,
And
a
so,
flyer.
Liar in the brochure.
and so for me, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know how much more I can keep doing it, but for me, I feel like they don't understand, and we didn't understand the hopelessness, the background on from 40 acres to a mule to. Am I frozen?
No, you good. You good.
Background from 40 acres to a mule to CBG money to all the federal dollars coming in to stop the war on drugs and to rebuild our community with the lead, and I can keep going on and on and on how it never changed the income levels for Black folks in North Omaha. And so when we went through this process, Senator McKinney we sitting down saying we didn't understand how much people felt, I say a little bit entitled, but the hope of, man, we could finally do something. And we've been trying to convey that to the governor and to DED, saying this is different. People have been waiting for this opportunity. This is grandma's land, great grandma's land. House was burned down in the 66 riots, and they've been sitting on it. And every time they go to a bank, they say they ain't got the credit. And now that's the opportunity for them to do something. And without it, even though explaining that, I still don't think they understood and still don't understand that how we present and how we come across and what we got to do to make sure everybody understands what's going on is needed, and that level of detail. Like we were talking the other day, there should have been meetings already happening about, look, if you're doing a capital project, here are some basic things you got to have. We want to see who's your owner's rep, your contractors. We want to see your architect team. We want to see drawings. And more importantly, we want to know you're already talking to the city about permitting. We want to know that you may not have the money to do the permitting process, but we need to know that you at least had a pre-plan meeting with the city. And people are like, what the hell's a pre-plan? That's my point. Right. Like when you go into this interview or you apply for this grant, that's what they're going to be looking for. Is it you talking about building down the street on 24th and Hamilton, but you don't own the property? Do you have an option on that property? And do you have a letter of intent from the owner saying you might, like, just some basic paperwork that at a grant level you gotta have to move forward, right? But everyday people are just like, bro, that's my guy down the street. He gonna sell me the property. We good. And that's not how government works. And we should have been already doing that. And we said that 2 months ago to him. Like, lay out what it means. Lay out how you're gonna evaluate. Lay out what the contract's gonna look like. Lay out all of that before you even come up with the application, because there's just basics that we got to do that a lot of people in our community may not know how to get there. But then afterwards, when their grant doesn't work, they're gonna be upset, and then they're gonna have to pay back money, and then it's gonna be a bigger problem.
Man, it's kind of making me think of, like, we talk about young kids from the hood, who go to the NBA, go to the NFL, or get a record deal. It's like people who historically are used to having nothing, coming from nothing, and you're giving them an influx of money without the proper training, without the proper financial literacy, without that, you see, we see it at time and time again. Like, artists and athletes end up broke after everything is said and done because they don't get that training. And
Here's the last thing I'm gonna say because I'm gonna start getting emotional. So I'm gonna let McKinney handle it
okay,
from here.
okay,
But like I don't know if y'all watched The Shy, but there was a scene of a group of young men. They were all sitting there talking about just getting stuff off a test, and one of them said, the problem is, Pops, you ain't been around. And his dad was like, man, don't blame me for your failures. And he was like, no, I'm not blaming you, Dad. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I'm trying to be a young man. I'm
And I
trying to
haven't
do something I ain't never seen.
seen before, right?
Remember
mm-hmm.
that?
Yep. That's it. That's it. We've never seen it. Never seen it. That's powerful. That's powerful, bro. Yeah. I was thinking about that when I watched it the other day. Like that's the thing. It ain't even about blaming. It's about we haven't seen it. What do we know? What are we trying to do here? Like I've been telling people before, man. This is the only. I don't see any other situation where any of the senators who were involved in any of this is coming and trying to communicate anything to anybody. I can't imagine how much worse things would be if you guys hadn't been, if you guys ain't doing what you're doing right now, because at least there's some, what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of information that's coming out of these conversations and coming out from you guys just being open enough to take a phone call and everything else. If you weren't doing it, I can't imagine how much worse the situation would be here with the communication. But I also want to think about this and go back to the thing that you're talking about. Like, we got to have some unification here. We got to unify up.
Man, solidarity.
We got to have some solidarity. We can't, I feel when I've been sitting in rooms with folks that were firing off and mad about it and talking about they're going to go talk to the governor and blah, blah, blah. At the time, I wasn't thinking that, I wasn't thinking anything about whether or not that was going to hurt us if they went and did that. Now, I wish I would have said something. I wish I would have spoke up and said, "Nah, let's try to get together. Let's have a solid voice about everything, and then let's go through the brothers that are known. Let's go talk to the senators first and find out this information before we make moves." And now I'm hearing, because I didn't speak up, and a lot of other people didn't really speak up on this. Then it's hurting us now when we're splintered, and then go and try to handle our own business that way.
I mean,
That's unfortunate too.
But here's
that's
the
no good.
here's the kicker though. In the beginning, it happened. So when we initially came
Yep.
out with the original plan, people from North Omaha splintered off, went to Governor Ricketts at the time, and North Omaha was only going to get $12 million specifically for 24th Street. We fought back against it and got way more money. And people in North Omaha, even though we kept telling them we need to be united as one, we need to
Yep.
stay together. Don't splinter off and don't try to do no backroom stuff. Stay with us. We get $300+ million, which never came to North Omaha, and we got people in our community that still don't believe in us. I honestly don't know what to do, but I honestly do wake up every day still trying to make this work and make it happen for the community. But at some days I'm like, man, like
See, the thing is,
it's crazy.
in general in life, you can't save in actuality, you can only save yourself. People can only save themselves. So, at the end of the day,
What
the
do you know?
community is, if this falls to the wayside because we're not solid, then we have nobody to blame.
Talking about us saving ourselves as a community.
Yeah.
And we knew that from a certain standpoint. They brought these individuals down from 24th Street and Lake during the governor's at the time Governor Ricketts speech to the Senate, and they stood up and was clapping, and me and Terrell looked at each other. It was like we know, like we know it's gonna happen, but at the end of the day, we were managing for all of that. And where I feel like I failed is I didn't manage what Kimber said on there about trauma people make poor decisions. Like we just dealing with a community who we got so much baggage, and trying to navigate that and explain that to people who don't understand. And what put it in perspective for me this year was the PTSD bill that got vetoed by the governor.
Man, my thoughts exactly.
Trying to explain this to people. And the only time they started getting it is when I showed them an article from small town Nebraska about these two girls whose dad got killed, and they were struggling in school, and they're like, oh, because they can't picture it. You know what I'm saying? They can't picture that. and I could put it in so many categories this year where we had this big debate about trans and LGBT and all, I mean all these like so abortion, all these social issues.
Right.
And if you can't put yourself in that position or someone you love in that position, it's hard for you to really understand. And if you can't understand and have some empathy, then you really don't give a damn about it. And that's where I feel like if I could go back in time, I have to take them to North Omaha and just be like, we're gonna sit here and just shake hands and talk folks who walk into the coffee shop. We're gonna sit here and so y'all can just sit here and listen to people. They ain't looking for a handout, they're looking for a hand up. And they ain't no different than farmers. And that's where I feel like there's some senators like Linehan and them who get it, but we ain't had enough time with this governor. And quite honestly, as much as Senator Ricketts and I disagree, I mean, we've always disagreed. He got it when it came to North Omaha, at least this money. He was just like, y'all know the community. Y'all do what y'all do. And when we did our signing down on North Omaha, he was like, this is the biggest thing ever. I wish y'all the best. I don't think we should micromanage it. Y'all know what's best. And we just don't have that relationship right now, I think, with this governor.
Yeah, Kimmer's saying we should still do that. Do you think that it would still be beneficial to get people from the DED, maybe the people named for those 8 categories as a contact, to come to North Omaha and still do that?
I mean, yes, I always think that's a good idea, but will they do it is the question. I think they're about to start putting out applications any day now, so they're probably going to act as if they don't got the time or the capacity to do it. We also, the other crazy thing is we tried to set aside $15 million for DED to do more program management, and governor and DED told us they got it. They can manage it all.
They didn't need no more money. Huh?
Yes.
Wow. And then everybody reaching out and they too over. They don't have enough manpower to talk to the people. It didn't really feel like they thought too much about helping the public figure anything out or really communicate well. They're gonna keep themselves just busy enough to not be able to answer no questions. They had to set up something that would work for them to be able to efficiently answer the questions. The whole thing to me is worth a conversation, and so I hope that our efforts to talk to a couple folks over there comes down to that. I mean, really, I don't really see how anything can happen unless we have some conversation about it and some communication, just being able to talk about it. I want to shift gears a little bit. We do have another special guest coming on here, and I didn't want to keep you guys on too long on this off day, but I do want to jump back real quick about the process that's going on here, because I don't want to leave us all feeling like this money gonna get all messed up. They're gonna put it everywhere else, and okay, yeah. Let me jump on that real quick.
I was waiting for my opportunity to get in, but
jump on in. Yeah,
man, Marianne. Before you get into that, Paul, as far as where's Vargas in all of this? Again, Marianne Williams says the elephant in the room, in my opinion, is where is Senator Vargas in this Norfolk story? He's on Appropriations Committee and co-sponsor of LB 1024. Does he have answers? So that is a great question. Where is Senator Vargas in this fight with y'all? Y'all look to your left, your right. Do you see him?
Nobody got any real answers. And I mean, Vargas ain't the only Democrat on appropriations. You got Wishart, you got McDonald. Let's be honest here. Like I ain't even gonna give him a pass. I'm just saying. And it's 2 South Omaha senators sitting on appropriations.
Man,
it's not 2 North Omaha senators on appropriations. It's 2 South Omaha senators.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, but
I'm looking at Senator Wayne's face, and I'm.
It's the complexity of it all. I mean, y'all just. I mean, look, man. We doing the. I don't even know what I'm. So to your question about, I don't think it's doomsday. I don't think it's all lost and all forgiven. I think at the end of the day, we gotta have our applications.
You muted yourself.
How the hell did I do that?
You back?
You good? It's probably a shortcut on the keyboard.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to make sure you have your grant and your projects tight. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can't have no more excuses. Now this has been 6-7 months since we all, or a year since we started this whole thing. We had a first round. I'm still not sure how the Olsen scoring is going to fit because we ain't using federal dollars, so some of the restrictions are gone that they ding people with.
Mm.
But this is your second opportunity, and my phone is open. I'm willing to help people. We willing to sit down and talk to y'all about, if you're doing a construction project, one of the biggest things in East Omaha was keeping the dollar at East Omaha. So what contractors are you using? How are you doing? Are they qualified? Not just your friend down the street who say he or she know how to put a cabinet up. Like you got to have it tight.
Yeah.
And you you gotta be able to look at yourself and be a little humble and say, hey, I'm taking this over here. Y'all pick it apart for me.
Right.
That's where we got to be.
What I'm looking at is that the DED is now the ones who are making these decisions. They put a process in place. We got to learn that process and work with them on trying to get it handled. I mean, they're there to disperse this money. I mean, in the end, I mean that's kind of like that's the goal here. I still got to go to the governor to sign off on after that. But we're in this process right now. We're going to do the best we can right now in this process. And as you can see, once again, the senators are stepping up, saying that they are here to help with the process as much. This is way beyond the scope of what these brothers are doing. I want people to really understand that they've already done their job,
Man.
and they still
Man.
are trying to help in the processes that is now beyond their control. So, yeah, let's just let's find some solidarity. Like I said, it's not over and it's not doomsday. Let's find some solidarity. Let's get together. We can even use this platform if you guys want to really kind of get together on all this before we start making more calls to the DED, more calls to the governor on these things. Let's get some solidarity going. Let's save our questions for the senators who have already put out there that they will answer questions. They will help and be part of this process. That's my call to action on this piece right here. And if you guys got anything to add to that, please let us know. Let me know.
No, I don't got nothing to add. But I was listening prior, and I do want to say, everybody keeps saying we were the deciding votes for LB 77. We were not there. We were literally in Omaha trying to get support for the criminal justice bill that go in effect today. Also, the police union was neutral on it. They didn't oppose it. Two, the chief of police said in the hearing and multiple years in a row, somebody from police, that they didn't want the law to change because they still wanted to target black people in North Omaha. So yes, I was open to it, but I said I would never vote for it if the COP amendment got on it, and the COP amendment got on. But still, with that law change, they can't target black people like they used to. The chief admitted that the disproportionate amount of black arrests would decrease if the law passed. They are now in the media fear mongering people, honestly, propaganda to make y'all scared and try to point fingers at us when the police was neutral on as far as support for the bill.
Wow.
Right. So our thing was, as long as the COP this amendment didn't get on, we weren't going to support it. The amendment got on in final round, or going to final round, and we were off. We were like, look, we were at the table negotiating. You adding some charges which we're not in favor of, so we off. So final round we were not voting for it. We were not there. We weren't even there. We were working on our criminal justice stuff. Okay. But I do want to say this on the process. People are getting invite small businesses to have a meeting, and they're going to go in there and it's an interview. Think about what you need for an interview. You don't walk into a job interview without a resume.
Right.
So have your resume ready. Have who you are. Have what you're going to do with the money on paper. It's not good enough just to tell them. You need to sit down, because they're going to forget or maybe write a wrong note, and you need to say, no, I gave you this piece of paper. What's your budget? What's your 3 to 5 year outlook? If you are a service in a restaurant or some people, how are you going to market to them? How many people are you going to get? Like, it's a true business plan. And they didn't say any of that. And I'm not knocking them for not saying any of that, because their mindset is, you come into a bank for a loan, you come into a bank for a grant, you're going to have all this. But that's not what the email says. The email says, we got interview times. Here goes your interview. Sign up.
Right.
Doesn't say what to bring. So if you don't bring those things, you already behind the 8 ball.
There you go.
There it is. But like I said, we'll
At it like you didn't had almost 2 years to be ready. So when you walk in there and you're not ready, they looking at it like, hey, you had some time. No matter if we put the application out today or yesterday, you should already had your ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it. Okay, we'll come back to this, man. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys taking the time and also putting yourselves out there to help the process even continuing the process, help the process even further. And like I said, we'll do the best we can using this platform to create some solidarity here, answer as many questions that can be answered before they even get to you, and then maybe coordinate something to where we can have a little bit of a round table where if there's people with questions, they can come to you. We can answer them real talk, real time, and try to make it happen. I'm sorry that we didn't get too much enough time to really dive more into the gun stuff, but I appreciate what you had to say, Brother
Man.
McKinney, on this. That you did answer some questions that we were having there. If you got any more questions for the senators, you can leave them in Friends of First Sky Omaha. I'll make sure they get those. I'll make sure to get those questions over to them if they don't happen to see them themselves. And we will continue this conversation. You guys will be back Monday anyway, so let's save it for that. Come back and talk a little bit more Monday. After we sniff the coffee beans a little bit and think about this over the weekend, man, and try to figure things out a little bit better. So thank you very much for your time. We are going to let you guys get going on today, but thank you very much. I hit you guys up, man, this weekend. We'll see what's up.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Man, appreciate you. Peace.
Peace. Right on. It is 8:21 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we got some people waiting in the wings. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for their comments and their questions and everything. All the chat chimers really chimed up today. Hope that some questions got answered for you for some of the senators' decisions and what needs to come next because of all these things that are happening. We're right. I feel like I'm coming to a really strong understanding about where we are in the process, and it's making sense. It's making sense that we can't attack this thing as a splintered group. We got to kind of have some solidarity and really, make it easy for everybody. But with that said, we'll continue this conversation on Monday. Again, 8:22 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we got a couple friends waiting in the wings, and we're going to bring them in now. If you guys are ready over there, we're going to bring you in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I see Brother Calvin Williams in the house.
Hey.
Good morning to you, man. And also Michaela Blankman. Did I say your first name right? She might be on pause right now. Okay, well, go ahead. Let's go ahead and introduce you, Brother Williams. You've been on the show several times before. I think you guys know who Brother Williams is from Freedom Tainment. But go ahead and introduce yourself, bro. Let us know how you living today. How you feeling?
Oh yeah, I'm doing okay. My name is Calvin Williams. Like you said, I'm the operations manager at Freedom Tainment, and we try to do community building events over here, and we manage the Omaha Freedom Festival, which we do every year at Malcolm X Memorial Foundation.
Yeah, those are really building up over the years too, man. Appreciate your work there.
Oh yeah, we've been averaging 10,000 plus, these last couple of years.
Wow,
man.
We create like 118 jobs. Put a couple $100,000 in the community. Pay taxes and stuff to the city. It's a good idea. It's been very receptive for the community, and I just appreciate that everybody understands it. And it's been a good journey for us.
I appreciate that very much, man. Just breaking in real quick. I'm seeing in the chat that there was breaking news. We forgot to talk about this a little earlier in the day, but there was 911 was down. This is the number that they gave you to call because as of 7:30 last night, 911 was down, and they said this is the number to call for all emergencies until further notice. They just put out a notice right now. Apparently, in the chat, they're letting us know they just made. Miss Erica Phelps says 911 is back up. The announcement was just made, so just to let you know about that. 911 is back up. Not that we'd be calling 911 much anyway in our community, but hey, it's back up. And if you need it, you need it. Anyway, sorry to bust in on you like that on that piece of news, but I appreciate you coming in again, man, and letting us give us some stats about what you've been doing over at Malcolm X. That's the first time I heard, how many jobs got created and everything that you've been doing over there. I know that it's been building up, but that's a beautiful thing that you're able to have some hard stats on how on the effectiveness of your work in North Omaha. Also, I see we got Miss
Yeah.
Blankman in the house, and she's coming in and out. Are you there? Can we hear you now?
I am here. Something's going on with the video where it's just frozen. So I just figure if you guys can hear me, that's the best option.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. We appreciate you coming on. I don't think we met yet. How are you? Good morning. Thanks for coming on this morning. How are
Good
you?
Yeah. Welcome.
morning. Good morning. My name is Michaela Blankman. I am Executive Director of Omaha Skills Connection, and I've partnered with Calvin from Freedom Tainment and Raquel Henderson. And we are really
Oh, okay.
excited just to provide resources for people in this community. We are coming off this pandemic, and people still need resources.
Yeah.
So we want to
Mhm.
just connect the dots for people, make it easy, accessible. Bring your kids, bring your family. We can talk about jobs. I have direct connections with unions, the
Mm.
trades. So really, it's really offers a lot of resources for the community. And the best message around is that it's free. So we're
Okay.
really excited to bring those services to the community. I love free stuff,
Oh yeah.
especially if it's meaningful and we can do something with it. So, we have housing down there, we have drill teams, entertainment.
Oh, wow.
So, if nothing else, come down there, have a good time, connect with people in the community, and just, if nothing else, help somebody connect the dots for them if they are in need of any resources.
Okay. Let's dig into this a little bit more. Now, first of all, you guys
Yeah.
are talking about this particular event right now, Level Up, which is happening tomorrow. We're glad that you guys got a chance to get on today to talk about this. It's happening Saturday tomorrow. So
Yeah,
that's
this
what's
is
up. 11 to 4. Say again.
this is our second year of doing Level Up.
Okay.
Hmm.
Last year, we had about 1,200 people come to the job fair. But we just talked about jobs. We feed people for free. And like you said, last year we had a concert, though. I brought Jacquees and Carl Thomas to Level Up.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
and this year, we going to emphasize, we added housing onto it because we like our sponsors to tell us things about their company that people would not know. Like the first year, Union Pacific was the sponsor, and they talked about how they hire felons. They got a program called Second Chance.
Mm.
They hire
Hmm.
felons to come and work at UP. Another thing that I wanted to do when I thought of this idea was I wanted all the jobs to pay at least $18 to $20 an hour, so you wouldn't have to have multiple jobs to sustain yourself or your family.
A
That's
living
huge.
wage.
Yeah, because you got to remember that everybody talks about economic development, but it starts, at your house.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these, like Michaela said, I brought Michaela and Raquel in to it because I actually met Raquel at a gas station a while back, and she was talking to somebody about a job. So when I
Yeah.
went to Metro, I ended up meeting Michaela and then Raquel, running back into Raquel again, and I just wanted to make sure that we added the trades onto it because a lot of people might not go to college, and people don't
Yep.
understand that, like with everything going AI and all that, if you got skills in the trades, you can sustain yourself, sustain your family, but you'll always have a job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to jump into the chat in a minute, but real quick before I do that, I just want to jump back to talk about your partners here, Raquel Henderson. I call her the job whisperer.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, we need to bring her on in a
For
real
real,
way.
she always is posting about jobs that she heard and is making connections with that kind of thing. So, wonderful person, a really great person to have for a job fair. She's the first person I would call. So I'm glad that it was very serendipitous that you guys met each other and got together and was able to get together on this idea. Miss Blankman, your organization called Omaha Skills Connection. Is that
Absolutely. Omaha Skills Connection is a brand new nonprofit. We're about a year old, and what we do is
Okay.
we connect people with trades. We connect people that come in that need to be polished with cover letter, resume. We put them in a position where, let's say they want to go into a trade and they don't know how to, or they forgot how to read a tape measure, reduce a fraction, how to do accurate, when we talk about doing estimates and things like that, coming in and polishing them directly with the trades and then aligning them so that they can get hired. And so we really focus on three things: job readiness, financial literacy, which is huge, and then mentoring. So we have two segments to our mentoring. One is youth mentoring for Black and brown girls 7 to 17 that we're going to launch in January 2024. And we also have a career readiness mentoring piece. So for example, if we connect you with a union, then if something happens in 60, 90s, 1 year from there, we're able to go in, figure out what the problem is. Is it time management? Is it the fact that you don't have the resources to get to work? We can try and work with that individual so they can stay employed. And it's a win-win for the union and the employee. So really, we are just connecting with those employers and employees and trying to make sure that we step with them as they go through this phase of employment so that they can keep their job and grow.
I like that. It's
Beautiful.
not just a job fair, get
Beautiful.
your job, and now you're on your own. There's actually some
Right.
support for families. So
Exactly.
I love that. I love that idea.
And
Yeah.
then I wanted to say this isn't a traditional job fair. You can bring your kids, you bring your family, you come hang out, you get something to eat. Like Michaela said, this year we got dance teams. Last year we rented LED screens and showed the Husker game, barbecue and stuff. We got face painting, balloon making, all that for kids.
That's what's
And
up.
we have it downtown at the Gene Leahy Mall, so we could bring some more diversity to it. And also
Beautiful.
because that's where most of the corporate sponsors, where their offices is at. So it's more convenient for everybody to go to a neutral location, so we could bring the information and the resources that I think will benefit the people that live in the community,
Love that.
Man, that's huge. I am curious, hearing a lot about the job portion. How is the housing portion working into this?
Well,
What type of housing resources?
the housing resources, the reason why we wanted to add housing onto it, because I wanted to let people know that if you got Section 8 now, you can pay your mortgage with that. I was at U.S. Bank at a meeting at U.S. Bank, and the guy was telling me about how they was accepting Section 8 vouchers for mortgages. I told him, man, I said, that's something that you need to let people know. So what I did is I reached out to Family Housing, the Land Bank, Metro Housing Collaborative, and I just wanted them to come and tell people about, how home ownership, or somebody might need assistance with their rent or lights or whatever, because one thing is always what I tell you is that a lot of nonprofits have resources that could help benefit somebody in the community, but they don't know about it because they only know, the people in the community only know about that one resource. So all the events that I kind of do, the hardest thing that I tell the sponsors to do is you just got to talk to people, because we never know what's going on in somebody's household unless we talk to the person or the people that we're supposed to serve. That way they can tell us what the needs are, and we can adjust the resources to what they need to be. But insecurity, housing and insecurity, and jobs insecurity right now, I still think is a big deal, and that we always need to kind of keep promoting to the people that are underemployed. Not the people that are unemployed, because Nebraska's got the lowest unemployment rate. But you never know, you might have a skill that might benefit an individual or organization, and it could change your life,
Man,
For real.
Just never know.
Let me jump into the chat a little bit. There's some questions that are being asked. You know that when you're dealing with us, we also do the whole follow the money thing. So earlier, Tony Johnson was asking the question, and he was remembering from our previous conversations about Freedomtainment. You guys are you guys profitable now? Are you guys on the other side of that plan that you made?
We almost profitable, man. We not, we make a little bit of money, but not. It doesn't really be profitable, because by the time we do the festival, we run right back into to level up, and what happens is we end up getting our checks late from our sponsors.
Yeah.
So it's know how it is.
Yeah,
So you still floating a little bit
Yeah.
because we don't have employees over here. Everybody's independent contractors.
Okay.
So
well, we're not asking if you making a knot off of this. We ain't saying
nah,
you getting rich.
we're not profitable yet, man.
We
But we're trying to get that way.
Well, I'm just saying, are you to the point now where you're self-sustainable, where you're taking?
Yeah.
Oh
right,
yeah, we're
right.
self-sustainable to where we can continue to have these events. Like the Omaha Freedom Festival. Y'all ain't got to worry about that. I ain't never gonna go nowhere. Okay. I'll be dead and that thing will still be rolling.
Beautiful.
Because it's got good legs on it. Mm-hmm. And right now, that's why I'm investing all my time in Level Up now, because it reminds me of when I started with the festival, where people didn't understand it. Mm-hmm. But then the first year, we got a whole bunch of people to come to it, because you got to think, this is a job fair. Most people be happy to get 50 to 100 people to a job fair. Mm-hmm. But when you start talking about thousands of people, now people listening. Yeah. It's not traditional. Everything we do over here is untraditional because the traditional ways wasn't working. Right. Because when we did the survey about before we started doing Level Up, we did a survey. And we asked people questions of why they wasn't working. And people thought people just didn't want to go to work. No, people needed more money because the inflation was going up. It was eating your check up. Right. Let's say you're making $15. So you're really making 10. You know what I mean? Yep. And then a lot of people say they don't go to job fairs because they can't bring their kids. A lot of people got families. So we was like, man, let's take out all them barriers to where somebody would think not about going, And then myself, I was like, well, let me bring in people that are competent. Like you said, Raquel need her own show. She do, because she really do it. And then I went and got Michaela, because Michaela had that connection with the trades that was so strong that, I just think it all makes a good mix. And I know that for Freedomtainment to be successful, we have to collaborate with people that really do what we want to do. Bro, I can't tell you how much of a good idea I think this is, bro. I think your name says it all too. Freedomtainment. We gotta remember that the tainment part is something that we need around here too. Like you solving problems, like you said. People can't take their kids to a job fair. You made it so they can take their kids to the job fair. It's a family day out now. Now you can take your kids, they're entertained, face painting and everything else while you go check out some of the job stuff. So you solving problems, and you got great ideas, and then you got great partners, it sounds like to me. I'm just meeting Miss Blankman now. I want to ask her a little bit about how she started with her side of the business, but I love the fact you have her involved in the job whisperer as well. Miss Raquel, who's killing the game. Sounds like you got some good players here going on, man. Miss Blankman, tell us a little bit about your company. How long you been in business, and what's your origin starting your side of the company?
So we are in our second year. We are a nonprofit. Basically what I do is I'm connecting people, right? I'm a connector. And so like a lot of people don't know that next week in a couple of weeks, they're starting what's called a STAR program. That's absolutely free for individuals, males or females. If you're interested in participating, it is a free paid program that leads directly to employment. So it's a 4-week session. It's held, it's sponsored by Google, Whiting Turner, J.E. Dunn, and Mortensen Construction. It leads 100% to a job if you finish the program. Wow. It's 4 weeks. It's held at Metro, and you will come out directly connected to a job. So it's those kind of situations that, of course, it's not for everybody, but it's going to be a situation where it's going to put you to work, and you're going to be able to make a sustainable wage to be able to support your family.
Love that.
Man, that's huge. We were just talking about on the show the importance of pushing our youth specifically towards trade work and kind of destigmatizing trade work. A lot of people, there's a stigma to it. Like if you're a garbage man, people kind of frown upon that. But my mother-in-law and father-in-law, work for sanitation, and they're fine.
Yeah,
I'll say that. They're fine.
More money than some.
Yeah.
Man. So I definitely appreciate the work that you're doing. And I've actually gone through the process of joining the Carpenters Union. I think I still have my union card.
Nice.
And it's a very, very low barrier of entry to that. Like, man, I think you only need like a high school education. They work with felons. Like it's a huge, huge opportunity that the community isn't really taking advantage of as much as they should be or could be. So I'm definitely appreciative of your program. I did want to mention really quickly though, also Mr. Stewart in the chat about your mentoring program, saying that black boys and men matter too. I would love to
Absolutely.
see. I would love to see if you can implement some mentorship for young men as well in that
We
program.
go. I want to jump into the chat a little bit too because there was a question a little earlier about whether or not you're gonna have voter registration at your event.
Mm.
We ask you this every time you come on about your
I know
event.
you do. I was about to say, not this time, because like for real, because I just don't think people understand level up yet because it's so new, But like this year, we think we have about 1,700 people come to it.
Yeah.
I just think when they get bigger, then I'll get more calls about it. I'm still working with Raquel and with Michaela, and we out here, hustling to get people to understand what freedom tainment is so we could get people to come and get the resources,
That's what's up. We might be able to make a call though, man. At least get somebody over there with a little table that can do a little registration. It won't be no more work on y'all's back. So I'll see what I can do and maybe get a hold of you a little later on today on that.
Hey, they can share a table. They can share a table with Omaha Skills. How about that?
Hey, there you go.
There you go. There you go.
That is needed. That is needed.
Right.
Man, Amy H. Dot also coming with some ideas about the Black Directory. We have a directory of businesses that we are putting together. She says, are these Black-owned businesses at the job fair? We need to add them to the directory. If so, she says, I sound like a broken record.
We're glad you keep on bringing it up for sure.
Yeah.
If you go on our friends of First Sky Omaha page in our First Sky Omaha page, we have pinned at the top this directory that she's putting. It's a living document, so we keep on adding people to it, and we definitely need some contractors and stuff on that. So yeah, so let's hit that up when you guys get a chance too, and we'll talk about it since you guys got so many connections to businesses. We definitely want to big up the Black businesses around town.
I love that. I love that.
I'm sorry, I'm about to cut you off, brother Williams. Were you about to say something?
No, I just was saying that that some of the businesses, a couple of them are Black-owned businesses, which kind of surprised me this year. Like a lot of them are home care businesses, always at home. A guy named Arthur, and then another business called Home Care. I think it's just called Home Care. But I believe with what she's saying that a lot of Black businesses should kind of get involved, if they want to try to hire people. Because I was listening to the senators of what you interview y'all had before, and I was just thinking that the reason why it's important for people to try to get a better paying job is because they're dumping a lot of money into the community now. Right. So that means change. So eventually with that change, you have to have money to be able to sustain yourself to afford them amenities that they're putting into the community.
Right.
If not, that's what runs people off, and they, because they can't afford to live here. So
it had that living wage, man, for real.
I just want to keep, continue to do my part, as far as bringing education and information to the community, because that's our mission over at Freedom Tainment. It's built off of empowerment and education. I know you brought up the entertainment part, but that's the last thing we do. We want to, educate the people first, but we have to use the entertainment part as a marketing ploy to kind of, get people over to what we're doing.
It's not a ploy. It's not a ploy, bro. It's a new business. It's a new business.
No, it ain't a ploy. I can't say it is a ploy, like you said, because this year we've had at Malcolm X, we had our biggest concert ever with the Music Soul Child and Life Jennings,
Exactly. I like what Brother Johnson is saying. We should petition that some of the money going to Job Center go to efforts like this, boots to the roots. People that you guys are on the ground level, really talking to the people, really connecting the people. So I think so too, man. I don't know how your business model goes, but it seems to me like we ought to be advocating for money that goes to any kind of job development. Go to efforts like you guys who are actually putting on events and talking to people, face to face.
Can I also say?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
I'm so sorry, Calvin. I also want to say that part of the efforts that we do at Omaha Skills is now we're going into the youth center. We're going to go into the jails, because to me, you need to meet people where they are, and then you need to provide support for families when they get out, because I think that is equally as important. So really, I think talking the talk is one thing, but walking the walk is another. When you get from behind your desk and get uncomfortable and you go behind the wall, to me, that's when the real work starts, right? When you have people that feel defeated and marginalized, and you build them up so that when they get out, they do the right thing. They want to do the right thing. They think about those families and what's their why. I think it makes things work a lot better in their favor. So,
Yeah.
I really love everything Calvin is doing. I love everything that Raquel stands for. And I really think that the community now needs to really support these efforts.
With that.
Definitely.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to let people know that the job pool is changing now, and even all the corporations know that. If you want a job now, if you want to be an entrepreneur, now's the time to do it for real. All that other stuff to me is excuses, because it can't be about money no more, because they done dumped about 900 million in the Norfolk Mall. So some of it's got to trickle down to the people that you know, and
we hope.
We just trying to let people know that, look, these corporations know that they have to hire people that are black, brown, that they might have to train. You might have a little blemish on your record. All that's out the window now, because these corporations, they need bodies. A lot of my biggest sponsors, they don't have a service or a product. That was one of the reasons why I came up with Level Up, because I wanted to show that Freedomtainment could be an asset to some of our sponsors without them just giving us a check. Because I don't want nobody to just feel like they got to take care of the organization, and we not, being an asset to the community, or we don't have no ideas on how we're going to grow. But we want to grow with the people all around, around us. We want the people around us to grow too.
There you go.
So this year we're just going to be looking to collaborate with a lot of different organizations, so we can learn about really what's going on, and like they say, start it from grassroots, build it, and understand what the community really needs.
With that, Wanda Lewis is asking, is Level Up program open to all ages? Are they a partner with affiliated with the Step Up program at all?
No, we're not affiliated with Step Up.
Okay, but Level Up is for all ages.
I had a Step Up intern this year though too. That helped.
Step Up intern. Okay.
Yeah, the shirt I'm wearing, he designed it. He designed
nice. Okay.
And
we gonna keep it moving here, man, because we got limited time coming up here. But just want to say, Gwen Easter's asking for your phone number. What's your contact information that you guys are putting it out there in order to connect with the community here?
The phone number is 531-772-0842, or you can email levelup@freedomtainment@gmail.com.
Okay, let me put that in the chat real quick. Freedom Payment at what'd you say?
Gmail. At gmail.com.
Gmail.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put that in the chat there. So get a hold of them if you need to. We're jumping into the haps now, so let's talk a little bit. Once again, I'm seeing two flyers here. Number one, this is happening tomorrow, which is why we had you guys come on today, so you can really talk about what's going on. This is 11 o'clock tomorrow on Saturday. It's supposed to be a little warm out, so dress accordingly. It's supposed to be 100 degrees out tomorrow, so dress accordingly. But Jean Leahy Mall, they got a lot of little places you can stand in the shade now over there.
Oh yeah.
They got it going on.
Hammocks and everything.
Yeah. And as you can see, food, free haircuts. Boy, I wish I'd have known that. I wouldn't pay my man $20 the other day.
Yeah, I haven't got a haircut yet.
Family-friendly activities, man, health and wellness classes, dance drill teams, and live entertainment. I really love this entertainment aspect of what you're doing here, brothers. I've been to many a job fair and did not have no fun while I was there. Really didn't. Was like, why am I here? I don't want to talk to these people. So it'll be interesting to see. Also, I'm seeing this. This is just another flyer for that. Is right? Just a secondary flyer.
Yeah, it's just a secondary flyer. We're a marketing company over here sometimes, so we gotta make sure that we reach the people on all platforms.
There it is, man. So that's the most important hap that we got going on here, bro. Is this thing tomorrow? So I love it, man. If you're looking for a job, as you can see, it's not just looking for a job or talking to people at a job like a regular job fair. This is people that can actually plug you into jobs. And I love it, man. Like I said, I just learned about Miss Blankman's company. I think that's genius. And then of course you got Miss Henderson. That's the job whisperer. Y'all gonna get a job
Man.
if you come to this thing tomorrow, man.
Oh yeah,
You
oh
gonna
yeah,
get a
yeah,
job,
yeah.
or you gonna have somebody help you fill out an application, or we're gonna try to hook you up.
Yeah.
For sure. Just really quickly before we let you go, how do we get in contact with you and your organization, Ms. Blinken?
OmahaSkillsConnection.org. So that's Omaha Skills with an S, connection.org. Or I can be reached at 402-707-3055. You know, I say come with what you have. But again, I'm willing to help you. If you don't have what you need, I will hold you down. I got you. I just feel like representation is everything, and how you present yourself and bring yourself to that interview matters. So if you don't have the resources, call me. I will hook you up.
There you go.
Love it. Appreciate you guys' time. Thank you very much, man. Take care of yourselves out there. Bring plenty of water so you can stay
Now,
cool
you ain't
out
gotta
there.
bring nothing, man. We got water, juice, Gatorade, pop. This all free. You know?
There you go.
Up, man.
I don't want you to bring nothing, man. I just want you to come and talk to somebody about a job or a house.
Bring that resume. Bring that resume.
Bring your resume.
And bring them kids. Bring them kids. Them kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna feed them, tire them out, let them dance. By the time you get home at 4:35, they're gonna take a nap.
You'll get a nap from the kids. You're gonna have a job. You're gonna be fed.
Man, so come up.
And a haircut.
And
right.
And fresh
and you can work out. You know, we're gonna have top flight fitness there if you just want to come down.
Oh, okay.
You know,
what's up, man? Hey, Calvin, you be doing it right, man. I appreciate you.
Man.
I learned from you know, when them days when that 101.3, you know, when y'all was over there.
Hey.
You know, that partnership really did, you know, get me more involved in the community, and it just helped me expand that I know that I got to get out here and you know, get up every day and grind and be a part of the solution and not complain when things happen on the news. No, I'm gonna get out here and try to help somebody so they can help somebody else.
And that's boots to the roots, man. We definitely appreciate you. Definitely.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate that's full circle right there. I love that, man.
Yes.
Man, I'll be in touch, bro. We got events that First Sky Omaha is trying to do too. We definitely want to hit you up on, and also Benson Theater, bro. I'm gonna hit you up on some stuff.
Yeah.
We need some freedomtainment in our event life for real. That First Sky Omaha stage, bro. I'm trying to tell you, we about to do it. So thank you very much for you guys' time coming in. Tell Miss Raquel we missed her. I thought she was coming in today too.
Yeah, I thought she was too. She must have been asleep.
She getting somebody a job. You know how she do.
There you
right,
go.
that part.
There you go.
You guys have to take it easy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Hey, thanks for all your feedback on there. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody's comment on this, but I'm glad that it feels positive. It feels like you guys are about this. You know, seeing what these brothers and sisters are doing, and making something really work. Boots to the roots, and like making it work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole thing for me. Is I've been to a ton of job fairs, man. Colleges have them, high schools have them. Everybody has them all the time, but man, you walk around and it's just like, bro. I don't know, you know. So to me, I feel like this is a super positive event. It's almost just like a time to go have some fun at G-Leahy Mall with your peoples, man. And on top of that, the bonus is you might fall into a career, you might fall into a trade, you might fall into something that and get help doing it. We talk about supporting the families all the time, and this is real support. So that's what's up, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, I'm thinking back to when I, went through the Carpenters Union and was, trying to get ready for that. You still got, belts and hammers, and you still got boots and things that you have to purchase. And there's, resources and help that people might need.
So true.
So that's huge. That's huge. Big shout out to them. Make sure y'all check that out. But, just about 7 minutes left in the show. What else is going on this weekend?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the haps.
What's the haps? What's happening? What's going down?
Yo, it's time for the haps. What's going down? We already jumped into the haps already by talking about the Freedomtainment event that's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
Man. Once again, if you guys are out and about, definitely hit this up. It is a job fair, but it's more than just a job fair. You can bring the kids. There's family-friendly activities, free food, free drinks, all kinds of stuff, man. But definitely check them out because they got some heavy hitters when it comes to people helping you get actual jobs and support you getting them. With Raquel Henderson, who I call the Job Whisperer, And we just met Michaela Blackman, who owns Omaha Skills Connections, that'll help you get
Man,
connected, man, in a real way with a trade, with a job, even support on helping you fill out your applications, all the things that they do to support as well. We just learned about that business. Hopefully, we'll put that on the directory too. And yeah, so it's going down tomorrow, man. So 11 to 4, Gene Leahy Mall. If you haven't been out there to the riverfront yet, definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. I think Lil Man and my sister went out recently and said, and skate. You can skate around there and all kinds of stuff around there.
it's a good time.
Good time,
Good
man.
time. The big slide still down there.
The big
It's
slide.
a good
The
time.
big slide. I like that. That's what's up. So that's number one. And remember, if you guys got any haps, let us know. It's time for you to put those in there as well. We got to big up our training, man. The Content Creators Camp is still going on.
Yes,
It's a
yes.
12-week program to teach you how to be a citizen journalist and turn your content creation into becoming a trusted source to tell the stories in our neighborhoods. We're at week 5. I'll be your instructor this week. That's tomorrow from 10 to 12 at the Elevator Spaces, 1402 Jones Street. Can't wait we had such a great class last week, man. I can't wait to continue the conversation this week. So everybody who's there, tell a friend, come on through. If you haven't registered, you can hit that QR code right there, or you can go to First Sky Omaha or Friends of First Sky Omaha, and it's pinned at the top. And you can go ahead and do that as well. As a matter of fact, I was going to try to go ahead and find um, that that link and put that in the chat. So let me see if I can do that real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Yeah, made it
And
easy.
just reminding people after you go to that training, go ahead and go over to the Freedom
Man,
Tainment
come
event.
on with it.
Right there.
If you haven't registered, go ahead and hit that link right there and register for the class and come on through. I'm gonna do the donuts and coffee and the fruit and stuff again there too. So just come on through, bring your notepad, bring your device. We might be doing a little work on your device this time around. So content creators, that might be
Mm-hmm.
your laptop or your iPad or your phone or whatever it is that you use to capture. Let us bring that, and we'll do some exercises and stuff tomorrow too. So that's week 5, starting at 10 o'clock, 10 to 12 at Elevator Spaces. Once again, Content Creators Camp. I'll be your instructor. Hope to see you there. Really appreciate everybody who's been coming as well.
Yeah.
Just want to also talk about this happening. We just had Jay Shannon on talking about the People United Fund concert that's happening. That's also tomorrow at 7 p.m. So long day.
Man, full day.
Come to the training, go to the job fair, and then go see some concert later on that night too, man. And
Support
that's
neighborhoods.
right. Brother Jay Shannon said this money, with the money they're trying to raise, is going to go to neighborhoods, man. You know, we're all about the neighborhoods right now. Reminding people to I'm putting that challenge out there. Join your neighborhood association. If you don't have one in your neighborhood, build one. Because
Mm-hmm.
we got some things coming, some boost to the roots coming soon. So it's time to get with our neighborhoods. And this is a concert that is going to add some money to that pot for these different organizations, different neighborhood organizations. So check them out. Kim Burrell, JJ Harrison is going down. And also Omaha Mass Choir. I learned more about them when Brother Shannon came on. So check them out at the Baxter Arena tomorrow. Again, you can get your tickets at Omaha Mass 2023.com or Ticketmaster, and check it out tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's happening.
Man, Field Saturday.
It is that's a long Saturday for real.
Yeah.
Want to give a shout out to the Culture House, who is now a partner of our Content Creators Camp. Really appreciate them for opening their doors to us. So we want to big up the things they're doing over there. This is always a good time, man. The Art Battle Omaha, September 16th. Mark your calendars. It's going down at 6 p.m. 12 artists, 3 rounds, 1 champion. This is always a good time. Definitely check this out. And, get to know your local artists, man, and buy from your local artists too. That's really what's up. If you find a local artist that you like, a living artist right now, and you know that they're doing this for life, if you buy some of their art, man, it will turn into an investment at some point in one day. So support your local artists now while they're doing their thing, and this is a good way to meet some of them and get to know them. The Art Battle Omaha happening at the Culture House September 16th at 6 o'clock. Mark your calendars. It's going down.
Yeah, and this is a national event. Again, this happens in other cities, man. And I know our brother Gerard Profong at the last Art Battle came in all the way from New York. So you never know who you're gonna run into, man. Some very, very talented artists coming through. Actually, I think that's going down the weekend that I'll be there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try to pull up.
There you go. Man, I just did something weird here. I hope this ain't stuck. Afrofest Omaha is also coming on. They're turning 5. Man, this is also going down tomorrow, man. Saturday, September 2nd. There's too much stuff going down at the same time, bro.
A full day,
hop
man.
around and try to make some of all of it though. But it's going down, man. And trust me, this is definitely something that you want to check out. The food trucks alone, just just it's too much, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. We got some of the best African cuisine in miles. So definitely check them out, afroomaha.com to get your tickets. This is at Stinson Park from 2 to 10. It's kind of going on all day. Again, it's going to be 100 degrees out there, so dress accordingly. And, might want to slide by and see what's happening, though. Afrofest Omaha, check them out. Get your tickets and support for sure. Man, I can't get this off the screen. I did something weird. That's weird. Here, let me try this. All right, cool. Let's talk about political evolution with Whitney Richardson. She is a chat chimer, a partner of ours, and a student with the Content Creators Camp. She's been coming in and adding
Yeah.
some things to that, so appreciate her. She has a podcast called Political Evolution. You might want to go check that out where you get your podcasts and hear what she got to say. We were talking about working with her on some new stuff coming up. So shout out to Whitney Richardson and the whole crew and whole gang. Really appreciate them. By the way, I don't know if Kimmery, you're still in the chat, but we'd love to have you on next Wednesday. And also, I'm going to have Precious on next Wednesday as well. We missed them. And we're talking about these neighborhood association things. Let's talk about it. And also some of these little roundtables we kind of getting together with Miss Richardson and you guys. And yeah, let's talk about what we can do here for sure. Wanda Lewis in the
Yeah.
chat asked, why was the documenters program put on hold? Abby Kretz had to move on from that position. And so she moved on to another job. And that left a gap there with trying to find a new director for that. Also, a little fundraising problem we were having over there. So we needed to raise some more funds. So we went and got back in contact with the Chicago, well actually Orange, Omaha Institute for Nonprofit Journalism, got back in contact with Documentary Chicago. They suggested we put it on hold for a minute while we fill that new position and raise some more funds, and then we'll get back going with the Documenters program. But we definitely have big plans to partner with them, so we're definitely going to do that. We're definitely going to keep on helping that situation come back to what it needs to be, so we can do that. Arts and Entertainment Awards votes ended last night, Brother Rome's review. So I hope that you guys got that in. We forgot to talk about that on Wednesday. I think we talked about it a little bit on Wednesday, but not too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep. But yeah, the votes are in now, and so it'll be interesting to see who comes out of that. So that's what's up. Tony Johnson said no new podcast since March. Yes, she has some. Whitney Richardson has some new things coming up. I think she's going to do a video version of this podcast. So catch up on the ones that are there, and then we'll come back and check those other ones out.
But nice to know, Brother Johnson.
I
Keeping
love
up.
it.
Keeping up with that. Yeah. Support.
9:02. So we have broken our agreement to end at 9:00. We apologize, but we appreciate you guys hanging in there with us a little bit after the time because we definitely want to give a shout out to a couple more things going on. Do not forget, we are still keeping our eyes peeled.
Yes.
Levi Blake. He has been missing now since August 17th. So it's been a little minute, but he was last seen near 33rd and Lake. So please keep your eyes peeled. This brother is elderly. He is suffering a little bit of Alzheimer's, from what I understand, and they're still looking for him. We did have a oh man, I lost the link.
The GoFundMe link.
Yeah, there's a GoFundMe link that we'll go ahead and post again on Friends of First Sky Omaha. The family's raising a couple bucks so they can keep looking for him. So please, check that out and keep your eyes peeled. If you've seen him, you can contact 470-216-5793, or you can contact 531-203-3810. And if you happen to see him or know what's going on, please make that call. And here is the here's the GoFundMe link. For the family to be raise a couple bucks so they can keep some supplies up and their time up to go and help search and all those good things. So we appreciate everybody who's keeping their eyes peeled and putting this on Friends of First Sky Omaha too. I appreciate that. A lot of people have been coming on, putting new flyers up and stuff like that too. We're still looking for the brother, so please keep your eyes peeled.
Thank you.
Yep. With that said, don't forget about this. Let's see, September 1st, which is tonight. 4th annual sneaker soiree is going down. Tickets available at the Slowdown. It is Friday, so there's a lot going on. Actually, First Fridays is happening here in Benson, in the Benson area too. And there's a very, very, very dope show happening at the Benson Theater. I'll talk to you about in a minute. But also tonight at the Slowdown, 4th annual sneaker soiree is happening this evening as well. If you plan on going to that, check it out. Get your tickets. Go down there and check it out. Get dressed get fresh to death, put your fly sneakers on, and come down and for the sneaker soiree, a little entertainment, a little fellowship that's going down over there. So definitely check that out if you get a
Man,
chance. Yeah. Love that, man. I love that DJ Cheeky's put that on. I think that's such a
getting
dope idea.
down, getting down.
Such a dope idea, man. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can pull this event here from the theater.
Okay.
Maha Hayaya. I know I'm saying this wrong. Ma, Ma, Maha Hayaya. They're a group that's coming out of Mexico, man. That's got this interactive. I can't even really describe what it's hard to
Hmm.
even describe what they got going on here. It's a how do you describe this? Well, first of all, they are sitting there with these modular synthesizers. They're bringing in all this sound. They have a scrim up where they're shooting video onto this thing. It's an interactive kind of video presentation with this music, and they're also doing a live feed from Mexico City at the same time.
Hmm.
They're actually going to be playing music with somebody from Mexico City via a live feed while all this is going on. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty incredible, man. It's called the Mahahaya Deer's Path, an immersive event in Omaha that merges the ancient traditions of the I ain't gonna say it right, Wixárika culture. Totally butchered that. My bad. With contemporary audiovisual art, witness the mesmerizing Maha live concert, combining traditional Wixárika music with real-time loop-based animation.
Hmm.
Gave it a try. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, it's there. It's happening. It's going down tonight. You definitely got to check this out, man. Some great performance. I met the guys
Man,
yesterday. Man, super inventive stuff. Really cool stuff. So get your tickets at bensontheater.org. If you're walking around tonight at the Benson First Fridays, then you can stop in. I believe it starts at 7 o'clock. Stop in and check out some of this spectacle, man. It's gonna be something else. I'm really looking forward to checking that out myself a little later on tonight. Interesting. I love that we're bringing this international kind of interesting stuff, man, to
yeah,
Omaha. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check that out if you
man.
get a chance.
Didn't y'all have like a K-pop group come to the
Bro,
Benson
we had the
Theater too?
first
Like,
K-pop group hit Omaha, man. And that's if for those who don't know, that's Korean pop music. That is one of the biggest things around the world. One time, at this
man,
time,
huge.
people were camping out in front of the Benson Theater to get tickets for this. It it was one of
Really?
those line around the block type. This is an international K-pop group that came out. So yeah, so Benson Theater is trying to do some big things. You talking about inclusivity? Ain't nobody doing the inclusivity like Benson Theater, bro. We got people from around the
Man,
world coming through right now.
there
So
you
that's
go.
what's up. But Miss Erica Fell says, "Oh, the Playhouse is full with wait lists. Thank you, everyone." So you guys appreciate
Man,
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, let's support each other, man. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Let's go ahead and end it there as far as the haps are concerned. If you guys got haps, then please put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Can't wait to check those out and see what you guys got going on this weekend as well. But as you can see, lots to choose from. So let us know and also hit Friends of First Sky Omaha up for all the haps that we talked about today. And with that said, buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah. Of course, big shout out to the Senators for coming to us on a day that they really supposed to have off, but they felt it was important to come on and clarify some things and speak to us. So we appreciate that just in itself as always. Also, big shout out to Freedom Tainment, Omaha Skills Collective. Is that Connection? Omaha Skills Connection was it? So again, thank you to Ms. Blankman and Brother Williams for coming through. Please make sure y'all show up and support, especially if you got some young folk, got some people in your family, in your life that are looking for employment. Help them out. Take them through. Let's tell a friend about this event. But whatever you do tomorrow, please keep it cool out there. Check on your loved ones. As Paul said, it is going to be a little on the hotter side. So yeah, let's be safe, stay hydrated, all of that. And catch the same time, same place, man. Again, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. But without further ado, Paul B, take it
Right
away.
on, Miss Erica Fell says, "I greatly appreciate the work that today's guests do. Thank you for having them. May everyone have a safe and restorative weekend. It's Labor Day. Thanks,
Yes.
unions. Oh, and drink your water. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Reminding me about that. It's Labor Day weekend for sure. As a matter of fact, yeah, Labor Day weekend. That's the other thing. If you guys are going somewhere, let us know. You guys taking a trip?
Which I guess leads us to are we coming on Monday?
That's a good question.
Do y'all
We
wanna-
always come to this.
yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave y'all hanging on this. Now you guys got to come to First Sky Omaha page to find out whether or not we're gonna be on Monday. So now you gotta go check the page and see what's up. What I really want to do is double check with the senators. They may be going out of town or doing something as well. We know that there are special guests on Monday, so if they are taking off Monday, then we will probably take off Monday as well. But we'll check it. We'll see what's up, and we'll send a note out for you guys to see what's up on that. So keep your eyes peeled for a little announcement from First Sky Omaha. If you're over on YouTube, like the page, like and subscribe. You can also hit us up on Instagram too, man. We put messages out there too, Twitter still even. So we'll put a message out in all those places for you guys to know whether or not we're going to be on Monday. But until then, just anticipate. We'll probably end up doing the show. We probably end up doing the show on them days.
Most likely. We don't really take too many days.
Not
off,
really.
so there you go.
Right on. Pop says, I think this has been the fastest week of shows ever. Much love, First Sky, and have an outstanding long weekend. Appreciate you very much, Pops. Mama God says, wonderful show. Thank you, Mama God.
Hey.
Can't wait to talk to you. See you tomorrow in the class. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, we're still working on getting Brother Ricky Smith on. Like I said, I'm going to try to hit up the 360 meeting this Tuesday and ask him face to face. We'll see what's happening on that. And some other folks, too. Want to talk to a few folks over there.
Yeah. Got some questions.
Some questions and concerns, like Miss Michelle Trostler used to say all the time. I got questions and concerns. You know, I've been listening to a whole bunch of what's the cat's name? The old head.
Oh. Was it Jelly Bean? Is that his name?
Beans. They call him Beans.
Yeah, Beans. Yeah.
Questions and concerns. This is his accent. All right, man. We're gonna get out here before we get the giggles again.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all. Take care of yourselves. Catch us at the same time, same place. Until then, peace.
By the way, Van Glory